works. Okay, so good news, the homework is really good. Bad news, I only saw 10 people submitting homework. We'll see what we're gonna do later on if I see less submissions or not, okay? But for now, please try to, it's better for you to submit the homework than not. And I say this because you're basically doing your midterm at this point. You understand? And then you're also doing your final. You're doing it little by little. Ooh. So, anyways, oh, sorry, I'm like having issues with my computer a little bit. This is Odames. Very nice. I really like where it went. If you see the layers, she added, remember how we double clicked the layers and we had all these effects come up? She played with that. So she not only play with it, if we go and zoom in to the ones that she, for example here, and I double click on the layer that this is, you'll notice that she has bevel emboss, and I can toggle it out if I wanted to. Okay, and then there's drop shadow. There you go. You see it. The texture is there. You can see what she's changing. The texture, she created more texture inside, and you can actually do that with most of everything. And not only that, if you go into texture, and you see how this is the pattern. Photoshop has patterns that you can change the textures into. For example, you can even go into threes and like change it. You see, this changes too. So think of it as like adding shadows to it automatically with a seamless pattern inside from Photoshop. So they will give you, I guess, default patterns you can add to it, and even water. Look, the difference. You see that? So good job on like Odame, good job on definitely playing with this. I just wanted to show, I still see some smart object, but that's okay. I think at this point we kind of know what's a smart object and what's not. And also, remember how do we edit smart objects? That's the only thing that I really care. I didn't want you to use them in the beginning because you're not used to erasing yet, and you're not used to how to place things yet. Okay. So now, not that one yet. So we have Alejandro. Good job, Alejandro, too. But I was thinking, like, if you added like a little bit of a shadow. By the way, if you want to make your life easier, and let's just say I want to have all of these, all of the, I guess, the scars that are on top, to have all of them at once, shadows. So what I will do is, I can do it two ways. I can either click and hold with shift, and you can see automatically I'm clicking all of my layers. Or if I already know what layers they are, and because he labeled them, thank you, Alejandro, I just go click and pressing shift all the way to one, done. Now I can drag these to the folder right here, and I have made it into a group, so they get toggled together now. So little by little, I'm gonna introduce groups to you, because in Illustrator, we're gonna do a lot of grouping. It's different, it's about the same concept, but it's applied differently. Anyways, so we go here, and now that we're in a group, you can also double click, and you can do drop shadow if you want. You saw how fast I did that. I just double click, as soon as there's anything in a group, you can double click and do it all at once. Ta-da, done. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you with drop shadow was, you can, same thing with blend mode. Blend mode is your friend, because you can also eyedrop. Look, if I click on the color and I'm like, oh, I really want this page. There you go. I drop it, but I'm like, oh, in some colors it doesn't look so good. So let me see if I can blend it better. So if you go into blend mode and you drop, it's the same way. There's color burn. You understand? I just did all of that in less than 3 seconds. I need you to get used to thinking how to manage things better within your files, because the good news is that Alejandro here has everything labeled, very meticulously done. If someone else were to open this file, they will know exactly where to look. The issue is that not everyone works neatly. Actually, a lot of people don't know how to use Photoshop, so they might just add all the effects, they might skew everything, and then what happens is you have to edit it, and it will take you forever. So learning like shortcuts on how to manage files is the best thing you can do. So don't save. Good job, Alejandro. Now, this is Eris, yeah. Thank you. I know you gave me a file that has no layers. That's not why I brought it up. Let's just say, has anyone noticed that maybe you were putting your swatches, and in the time that you were putting your swatches, you moved something by mistake? And you're like, and you cannot go back because your history has no history of it anymore. As we discussed, Photoshop only goes 30 steps back. And you're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? So what happens is, there are ways to know that you're always going to be able to align. So if you do Command R, you notice they have rules here automatically. Look at my edge. Command R. Or you can go to View. Actually, hold on a second. You can go to View and you can put rules. If you click and drag from the margin, ta-da, I just created rules for myself. You see that? You can use this to help you align things. Not necessarily perfectly, but it just helps. Let's just say you have so many prints and so many things in the background, and you just want guidelines, really quick guidelines. This is one way, okay? So it's Command R, and then you can always toggle it out. So bye-bye. Same thing. This looks really great, Liliana. I know you were mentioning that the color may be skewed, but that's okay. You can always change the color.
Well, on my laptop, I wanted to change a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every color that I went to color drop had like a weird green tint. And
Okay.
I even went back to this and I was color dropping in the middle of like the gray, and it was not the same color. So
All right. So sometimes if you want to change an entire, why am I hearing people? If you want to change the entire color hue all at once for everything, we can go making sure that you're on top of your layer in the top, like select this, just because if you, that will help you. You see this little half circle? If you click it and you go to levels, I'm just checking levels, and you put, you say it was too green?
on my laptop, yeah.
Yeah, you can put the green. You can just like, you see how I'm doing it all at once? You can do that. Because guess what? It's on top of the layer. So if I toggle it out, you can see the difference. Very slight. Or you can even help with, say, color hue. If it's too green, you can see the slight changes already. This is more neutral now. Then you're like, but it's not deep enough. So what you do, same thing. You can actually, this is called like a filter. And you can go into even levels now. And you can just make it more intense. You see the difference? Instead of you going one by one, if everything is not the right color, you can just put the filter on top of everything. You understand? That will, without masking. We haven't really done masking in Photoshop yet. I will introduce it later. But so far, I think some of you found out how to do masking without really knowing how to do masking. But you see the difference now when I take it out. Look how much we changed it. You see that? And I didn't do that much. Like I didn't have to go one by one and figure it out. So you can do all at once. Or like what I showed before, you can also just click on it, make it into a group. And if you want to just, there's two ways to do it. You can either merge all of this. You can make copies of all the layers and merge it and just do it as merge. But the problem with merging is if you want to move things around, it's not going to let you merge. It's not going to let you move things individually. Okay? So then we go here. We don't save. This is really good. I think your play of Spady, yeah. I think your play on the diamond looks really accurate. She looks expensive. The only thing that I've noticed, you see there's a line right here? Sometimes a pixel line escapes from us. And then you can notice it. You notice how like if I click on it, it's creating an outside bound box beyond the chair. That's why. That's how you notice things sometimes. And yeah, I'm just gonna erase it. Same thing. You just erase it. That's it. But it looks really good. It goes back to your. Now, if I really wanted to have the chair, if I were you, I could make the chair even bigger. And if I really wanted to make it even more bold, I can even make it. You see how like if I put bevel, you see what I'm doing? Look, you notice that slight change? It looks more, it's popped up. There's more emboss. You see that? I created even more texture. I can even change the texture. Let's just say water might be better. No, that's too much. No, that might be better actually. And then right here, you can also go with scale. So it looks more leathery. If you wanted to. You see like a little bit long. Now that's that. Now same thing here. Like if I wanted to drop shadow. By the way, drop shadow doesn't need to be. Same thing. You can always change how it's dropped. You see the difference here when you go to contour. Yes, the thing, we're not doing drop shadow right now, but what we can do is inner shadow. So if I were to just put normal and just play with this a little bit more, make it more severe, I can even change the angle of where my light is hitting. You notice that? This is the angle. And I just want you to get, like, look at that. Perfect. Let me take out bevel. That looks pretty good. Now you can even blend it with multiply and not go into black, maybe a more analogous color, like a really deep brown, and make the opacity more intense. Ta-da! Look what happens. Before, after. It looks more expensive. You're having that idea of like, oh, okay. Like it looks more diamond, more like hidden. Doesn't stand out. It's not the first thing that stands out in the page. That's what I'm trying to say. You see the difference? Now, if you really just want to see, oh, I want to put the chair, but I don't necessarily want to just, I don't want it to be the main focus. I want it to kind of blend in. You can always play with your layer blending in. See that? Always. You can always play with your blending, and you never know what you're going to get out of the blending. And that's it. That will be the quickest way. Even, I actually kind of like the gray one, guys. What do you think? Yeah? I kind of like the gray version, Speedy. Anyways.
I like the gold, but I was trying to make
It's okay.
the newspaper in the back, I was trying to give it the blue color.
Oh, okay. So if you want a blue color for like this, I will say Command L. Go to blue. Because remember, there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, slightly. Because then you're overpowering everything. Remember, color stories to help you navigate what are the main colors there. Not necessarily to outstand. So this is from Jaden. This looks really good, Jaden. The only thing that I've noticed with this, if you did group them, which I noticed, is this white outline. What happened here? It shifted, right? So when that happens, let's just say it shifted. If I click on both of them, because I'm in a group, you see automatically, look at my top bar. It shows up. You see that? I can align to the left, done. And it's not only not aligned to the left, I can align to the top. Now you see it. You understand? Let me do it again. If you click more than one object together, this is gonna automatically show up. Your alignment tool. Okay, so you can align to the side if you want, to the center, whatever helps you, but that actually helps you without you, because sometimes when you use the arrows, it might shift too much. Maybe you just want to align it to a specific object. That's one. Okay. Don't save. This looks really good. So this is Belkelis, and then the only thing is like I feel like if she's gonna be a brat, let her be a brat all the way. Try to play with scale. Give me like a little bit of drop shadow or something. Oh, I changed it. Hold on a second. Maybe I want a pink, but darker pink. Normal something. Okay, you can even change. Do you see how I'm changing the contour here? You can do so many things with Photoshop. There's so many buttons. That's another thing I think you guys have noticed. That with Photoshop, one wrong button and it's not gonna do it for you. So it's very sensitive in that sense. But this looks really good. So like I feel like you can play more with scale, and that's what I wanted to show. I do like how you align things. Like for example here, let me put the align tool. Let's just say this square was right here. And I was like, oh, I want to align it. So you click all the squares by pressing, by clicking and holding shift. And right here it pops up the alignment tool. You just click the center one and it's done. Okay? That's what I wanted to show you. Okay, perfect. That's don't save. This one looks really good. Ali, this looks really, really good. Not only is everything so nicely grouped. Good job. I'm so happy. And not only that, they even do, oh, so I didn't show you you can do effects to, did I show you that you can do effects to text? Okay, so believe it or not, text is the same thing. If you double click, you can also give effects to text. Same thing. It's the same, and that's why you see if you click on, if you really zoom in, you can see there's like a shadow of the same color there. Good job. This is really well done. I really like it.